What's up, everybody? Here, Andrew, go ahead and can you plug that in the side? Let's see here. Let's get our microphone attached. Picked up some delicious looking spare ribs. Not a bad price. So, cook some St. Louis ribs today. Let me get the RT590 Stampede preheated to 275 degrees. Got that grill rolling the Ultimate Blend pellet, red oak, white oak, and hickory. It's a beautiful Sunday. I think it's about to rain in a couple hours. But yeah, it's nice for now. So I think it's time to start the day off. A little Sam Adams 76. They call it the Crushin' beer. We'll see. Should be pretty tasty. But cheers, everybody. Happy Sunday. It's pretty tasty. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and trim up these pork spare ribs into St. Louis cut. A couple things you got to be wary of. They will take a little longer to cook than baby backs. These will be your traditional competition style, I guess, cut of the rib. Okay. So what I like to do is just put a couple paper towels on the board, because there'll be a little bit of purge coming out of them.
Darren Gillespie asked where the BFG is gonna fit.
The BFG, buddy, I'll show you where the BFG is gonna go a little bit later. So I'm just gonna blot these off, and you'll notice that you've got kind of a skirt steak looking piece of meat right here. That's great for ground. You can always take that up, cook it hot and fast, treat it like you would beef fajita or skirt steak.
Adam Davis wanted to know, are the patio bricks just stacked?
Behind me, yeah, they are
connected
stacked,
with anything?
and then on the bar we've got them grouted in, and then back behind me we've got the some flagstone that's glued down. But you'll see these ribs, and I'll turn around so you can see. Okay, this is gonna be your spare rib, right? And then right in here you'll see kind of a fat seam. If you get in there with your fingers, you can kind of feel where the bones are, and that's actually where we're gonna trim, and we're gonna cut these to be a little more square, just like that. Okay, and on the back side, again, if you lift it up, you can kind of see, if you go 5 bones back, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this joint right here, okay, it's gonna be right here. That's gonna be that kind of line right on the top of the bones. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna remove this and then cut that off. We'll save this for grind. But again, you can trim some of this back. And this is great if you're making homemade spaghetti sauce, pork burgers, or if you do any of your own sausage making. Some great flavor here. Definitely don't throw that out. That's good eating. So what we'll do is I'm gonna take this, and again, I'm gonna cut right here. So I'm gonna square it off. And again, you can smoke this along, right along with those ribs. But again, if you get a little creative in here and cut the bones out, you can go ahead and smoke that off or grind it up. But again, our ribs now are kind of square. In this end piece, again, if you're going for a competition style, probably square it off right in here. And those don't look that bad. For some commodity ribs, now I'm not saying these are going to win best in show, but that's a good looking rib. A couple technical terms you'll see. If you see the bone poking up through your meat, it's called a shiner. So you want to look for a rib that's got a good bit of meat on top of the bone there. And don't be afraid to kind of give it a squeeze at the store. All right, you paid for it, so you want to make sure you use it. A couple different ways you can remove that silver skin. I just kind of take the back of the knife real quick, and we will loosen it up just a little bit. Okay, we want to take this membrane off, and again, I'm just going to grab it with a paper towel. And there was a little bit of score here where that didn't come off clean. So what we can do is we can just take that knife again, pull it back, put it there with that paper towel. So what are you guys cooking good this Sunday? Appreciate everybody that chimed in for the live Cook With Us segment last Wednesday. That was a blast. Jody and I had cooking with you guys. Where's everybody watching from today? you see some big chunks of fat, feel free to kind of cut them off. But those look pretty good to me. Right in here.
The zooming in and zooming out is not working here.
Okay, we'll just leave it zoomed in then.
Okay.
Any comments, bud?
No, not yet. Oh. Rich RB is making pastrami in Pittsburgh.
Oh, there you go. Love some pastrami. Got a great pastrami recipe on my YouTube channel as well. So again, those are nice and square, good in shape, good and cleaned up. So let's go to the next one.
Jeremy Woodcock is watching from Michigan.
Michigan. I don't think it's as warm and sunny. I think it's going to be about 70-ish today. Super nice, but it's going to rain a little bit later, so we definitely want to get this done. So if you're looking for a meatier rib or a rib with a little more kind of fat to it, the St. Louis cut spare rib is going to be your best bet. Baby backs cook a little quicker. They're a little bit of a leaner rib. I prefer the...
Rich RB is actually using a pastrami recipe.
There you go, buddy. It's a good one. So again, we'll trim that off just like the last time. Take the skirt off. Yeah, we're gonna. I think John and I are gonna do some fun stuff this Fun Day Friday. Again, you can kind of count back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right in here is that joint that we're gonna go through right in there. Okay. You can also see it right in here. There's that fat line. We want to kind of come right across in here. And once you do it a couple times, kind of just visualize the look and see exactly where that is. Okay. And again, we're not going to throw that out. We'll smoke that off, or you can get the bones out, grind it up. It's a great, great thing to add for burgers and all sorts of fun stuff. Clean that up just a hair. You can see when we were at, this is kind of unfortunate though, if you look, see all these gashes in the back membrane? That's honestly carelessness when they were packaging this and butchering this this pig. I've seen it a lot lately on briskets, and it kind of sucks when you spend good money on a brisket, prime, and you see some gouges in the meat. So definitely make friends with your local butcher. That way you can look at it before you buy it out of the cryovac. Because again, if this was a brisket and there was big slashes like that into the meat, I probably wouldn't be so happy. But we're gonna go ahead and get this membrane off. Probably gonna take us a couple times since there are some cuts on it, but hey, we'll let it ride. Anybody got any good recipes for St. Patty's Day coming up? Irish salmon or beef and oatmeal stews. Obviously corned beef and cabbage is always popular.
Bama's watching, Dad.
There you go. What's up, Bama? You can say hello. Andrew's the cameraman today.
Yeah.
Mikey, if you want some food later, ribs will be ready about 6 o'clock, so feel free to come on over. Pull that membrane off. We're also doing a really fun recipe, and I'll go live a little bit later on. Julie found a really cool one. It's a Italian sausage stuffed zucchini boat. And we're going to do a kind of a low-carby, healthier derivative of that. Should be pretty good. I'm excited for that.
Kevin Bomber wants to do Jody's corned beef for St. Patrick's Day.
Jody's got a recipe coming out. I think it's coming out Friday, Thursday. He crushed some corned beef. He actually made it from scratch, brined it for about 7 days, and then smoked it, braised it in some beer, and it was looking really tasty. All right, so now I've got my racks of St. Louis ribs. They're looking pretty good. They're nice and even. What I'll do is I'm going to sprinkle a little bit of Dijon mustard. I like the stone ground mustard. You're not going to taste it, guys. It's just going to be some good flavor there. And I've got a rub I mixed up. This is going to be some turbinado sugar, some chili powder, paprika, salt, black pepper, a little bit of dried ginger. That'd be really good on top of here. Just for something different. The honey rib rub is always a real good standby, but I'm out of it right now, so this will do. So I typically try to keep a dirty hand and a clean hand, and that way if I touch anything, even though I'm wearing gloves, it's easy to do. But I like the green mustard on here. little bit of white wine in there as well. Some good sweetness. Just add a little bit of our dry rub, or a lot. But again, turbinado sugar, paprika, chili powder, salt, ginger. Looking pretty good. Again, if you're trying to be a little more low carb about it, you're trying to avoid the sugars, leave out the turbinado. It's really okay. You don't need it. A little bit heavy on this one side. Tends to not go as heavy on the bone side. Normally I let this sweat out for about 4 or 5 minutes. Let the moisture in the pork and the mustard kind of rehydrate all of those dry spices. Your rub will tack up and stick a little bit better, but if you just grab your hand and kind of just pat it in, it'll stick. Again, you got to give some love to the bone side as well. Now, typically when you see recipes for 3-2-1, this is the ribs you're using. It's going to be the St. Louis cut. Again, they need a little more time to break down that fat. Some recipes you'll see cooking at 225 or 250. I like to go a little bit hotter at 275, and that way that extra heat's going to really do a good job at breaking down some of that fat in there, and they'll cook a little bit quicker. These will probably go right about 5 hours. I don't think I'm going to wrap these up. I think I'm just going to let these go naked the whole time. I might mop them depending on how they look, but again, cooking for me is all about just kind of playing it by ear when it comes to this stuff. Looking delicious. Ooh, it's looking really good. Man, I like it. Go ahead and get these on the RT590 Stampede. Probably fits 5 racks of these ribs on there. We're just doing 2 today. Go ahead and get these on the grill.
Tom Thompson says he loves his Stampede.
Do what?
Tom Thompson said he loves his Stampede.
There you go, Tom. I love my Stampede too. I love the Bull, the Stampede, the Trailblazer, the Bullseye, the Matador.
Basically all of them.
Basically all of them. You got to. You got to. What are the comments we got out there, Andrew?
Nothing really so far yet. I mean, Matthew Jennings just started to watch.
Super cool. So tonight, probably about 6 o'clock, it's what, 12:45. About 6 o'clock, we'll go live. We'll show you what these ribs look like. We're also going to do a really great recipe tonight. It's going to be an Italian sausage stuffed zucchini boat. You heard that right. We'll do that on the Bullseye and the Trailblazer. Put a cast iron pan on there. We'll cook off some sausage, some onions. We'll scoop out some of the insides of that zucchini. That'll go back into our zucchini boats. It's going to be really, really, really tasty. And then we're going to fire up some ribs. We'll eat some of those tonight. Probably save them for dinner tomorrow night. But I appreciate you guys checking in. Again, about 6:45, 6:30 tonight, we'll go live again, and we'll show you those zucchini boats. But until then, you guys have a good Sunday, and we'll see you at the recteq.